Hello, wonderful viewers. You are welcome once again to SKB Sports TV, and this is the Sports Couch. Today I have the wonderful task this evening of taking you through two greatest teams in the Champions League, in Real Madrid and AC Milan. My task this evening is to show you guys the reason why Real Madrid and AC Milan are the greatest ever teams in the UEFA Champions League. We all know that the Champions League is this tournament that we are all excited about, and we all know that Real Madrid and AC Milan are the most successful. When you're looking at the table, realize that Real Madrid having won the 2022 edition by beating Liverpool at Stade de France in Saint-Denis, you realize that Real Madrid won twice as many as the second team behind them, that's AC Milan. And you realize that I always talk about the Grandmasters of the Champions League, and you see these teams, they are just 6 in the Champions League. In ascending order, you have Ajax Amsterdam, AFC Ajax Amsterdam of Holland or the Netherlands. You also have FC Barcelona of Spain. Okay, you have Liverpool FC and Bayern Munich of England and also of Germany respectively. You have AC Milan, who are on 7 titles. Then you have Real Madrid, who are on 14 titles. That's twice as many as the next team. Ajax are on 4 titles, Barcelona are on 5 titles. Both Liverpool and Bayern Munich are on 6 titles each. AC Milan, Associazione Calcio Milano from Italy, the Rossoneri's, they are on 7 titles, and Real Madrid, the Vikings, Los Merengues, the White Angels are on 14 titles. They are the 6 Grandmasters in the UEFA Champions League. That's how I call them, because the feat they've achieved is a remarkable one, and it's not easy to achieve such feat. You see, every organized UEFA competition, UEFA gives a special, honor and respect to some clubs that achieve some remarkable feats. And this feat is when you win the organized UEFA competition 3 times in a row. That's winning it 3 times in a row, or 3 times consecutively, or winning the organized UEFA competition 5 times. Okay, so you realize that these 5 teams I'm talking about, these 6 teams I'm talking about, in Ajax, Barcelona, Liverpool, Bayern, Milan and Madrid, they've all achieved this feat. Hence, UEFA has given them their badge of honor. And if you notice in the Champions League, from the previous 2 seasons going backwards, you realize that the UEFA badge of honor was inscribed on the left sleeve, okay, the left sleeve of the jerseys of these special clubs. You realize that you see the UEFA Champions League logo, and you see respect, in a horizontal thin line. They've written respect, and you see the UEFA Champions League logo and the number of times these 6 clubs have won it. It has been inscribed in it. Okay. Now, last season, UEFA made some changes to this badge of honor, and as I'm saying, these are the only clubs with this accolade. Manchester United, FC International Milano, they are on 3 titles, but they don't have that, that special, recognition by UEFA. When Manchester United and Inter Milan, who are on 3 titles each, when they are playing the Champions League, you don't see that special, recognition. That's the badge of honor. You achieve it by winning the competition 3 times in a row, or winning it at least 5 times, as Barcelona have. So I realized that, as I was saying, the previous seasons, the star ball logo, the UEFA star ball logo, is on the right sleeve, okay, and on the left sleeve you see a horizontal thin line. That, you know, you see respect written in that horizontal thin line. Then you see the UEFA Champions League trophy logo, okay, there. And these clubs, Ajax, you see 4 inscribed there. Barcelona, you see 5 inscribed there. Both Liverpool and Bayern, you see 6 inscribed there. AC Milan, you see 7, and Real Madrid, you see normally see 13 until they won their 14th. But last season, that was 2021-22, UEFA made some changes to the position of that badge of honor, and they brought it to the right sleeve, okay. So you realize that the left sleeve, they left it in case you have some sponsors. So let me use Inter Milan as an example. You see that Inter Milan, they are sponsored by Digital Bits. So at the right sleeve, sorry, at the left sleeve, you see the Digital Bits there. But at the right sleeve, UEFA brought the badge of honor, you know, to that place. You see that at the right sleeve, you see the star ball logo and the number of times these teams have won the competition being inscribed in the star ball logo. So you see, last season, if you realized carefully, you saw that Ajax Amsterdam had 4 inscribed on their star ball logo on their right sleeve. Same as FC Barcelona, you saw 5. You saw Liverpool and Bayern 6. AC Milan last season, they returned to the Champions League for the first time in 7 years. You saw 7, and Real Madrid 13 at that time. Next season, you see 14 being inscribed there. You see, that's Real Madrid's jersey. So that's how it is. So I'm talking about AC Milan and Real Madrid today. You see, in descending order of these grandmasters, Real Madrid comes first with 14 titles. AC Milan comes second with 7 titles, followed by Bayern Munich and Liverpool, who are tied on 6. FC Barcelona, then Ajax Amsterdam. But in ascending order, you start from Ajax to Real Madrid. Ajax, Barcelona, Liverpool, Bayern, Milan, Madrid. So I'm talking about these 2 clubs in Real Madrid and Milan in descending order. I want to show you guys the reason why these 2 clubs are the best teams. You see, in the UEFA Champions League, some numbers don't lie, and this is the competition that makes me believe in spiritual things. I must confess, the UEFA Champions League makes me believe in spiritual things, because if you want to win this competition, having followed it all this while, you have to be fortified spiritually. I'm telling you, it's not just a mere tournament that you can win by just being the best team, let's say on paper, just you know, seeming to be playing the best football and all that. No, you can be the best, but you can lose in these you know, tie knockout matches and also in the finals. It's a spiritual tournament, whether you believe it or not. And these grandmasters, they are all, you know, spiritual teams. Real Madrid is a spiritual club. Barcelona, same. Liverpool, Milan, all these clubs who are the grandmasters, you see, they appreciate and they respect what I'm talking about. All of you would attest to the fact that Real Madrid's run to winning their 14th European Cup was a remarkable one, and it was an unbelievable one. Now, why is Real Madrid and Milan, why are they the best 2 clubs in the history of the European Cup? Let me take you through it. To do that, we have to go through their European record, and also I would personally, what I believe, and that's this feat I'm about to talk about, it sets them apart from all these 4 other clubs in the Grandmaster list. You see, there are 6. So taking away Milan and Real Madrid, it will be left with Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Barcelona, and Ajax. But Milan and Real Madrid, they are the 2 best teams. Okay, and you realize that they've achieved a remarkable feat, which, you know, have not been matched up till now. And for me, that sets them apart. So let's go through their European record. Let me start with the first team, Real Madrid, in descending order. Real Madrid had the best team in the UEFA Champions League, followed by Milan. So let me start with Real Madrid. You realize that Real Madrid won the first 5 editions of the European Cup, and they won 6 out of the first 11 seasons. Okay, Real Madrid won 6 out of the first 11 seasons of the European Cup. We all know that the European Cup started way back in 1955-56. So the first finals, Real Madrid won in 56 when they beat Stade Reims by 4-3 at the Parc des Princes. They beat Stade Reims of France 4-3 at the Parc des Princes. That's the home stadium of Paris Saint-Germain. Real Madrid were back again in the finals in 57, and they won in 57 again. Once again, Real Madrid also won again in 58. Okay, they won again in 59. They won again in 1960. Okay, so you realize that Real Madrid, they won the first 5 editions of the European Cup. Okay, so that's how it is. Now Real Madrid went off for 6 seasons and they came back in 66 and they won again in 1966. Okay, so their first win, as I said, was against Stade Reims. Their second win, they had the opportunity of playing at their favorite Santiago Bernabéu, where they beat Italian side Fiorentina, was it by 2-0. In 58, they beat AC Milan, you know, their fellow grandmaster at the top there that I'm talking about. They beat AC Milan in the 58 finals. In 59, Real Madrid beat Stade Reims once again by 2-0 this time around. And in 1960, they beat Eintracht Frankfurt of Germany. We all call that Eintracht Frankfurt, or coached by Oliver Glasner, won last season's Europa League when they beat Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's Rangers, Glasgow Rangers of Scotland, where they beat them on penalties. Yeah, so Eintracht Frankfurt, they lost the 1960 European Cup finals to Real Madrid. So that was the first 5 wins of Real Madrid. Real Madrid went to the finals again in 1962, but they lost to Eusebio's SL Benfica when Benfica beat Real Madrid by 5-3. Real Madrid were back again in the finals in 64, where they lost by 3-1 to Heleno Herrera's Inter Milan. At that time, Heleno Herrera's Inter Milan, they were very dominant with their Catanaccio style of play, you know, the defensive approach that they nullify the opponent's attack, prevent them from attacking them, and they strike them on the bricks. So Real Madrid lost once again in 1964, and they were back again in their 8th final. Okay, in their 8th final in 1966, and that final saw Real Madrid's legend Francesco Paco Gento, who won the first 5 and, you know, stayed on to win the 6th one when they beat Eintracht Frankfurt by 7-3. That match also saw the legendary Ferenc Puskás bagging 4 goals in that match. One day I'll talk about Ferenc Puskás. You know, his name is on the FIFA Puskás Awards. That's the best goal of the year. When FIFA are having the awards, the best goal of the calendar year is named after the legendary Real Madrid and Hungarian player Ferenc Puskás. So in the 1966 finals, Real Madrid won again. They beat Partizan Belgrade by 2-1. So it was in the 1960 finals that Real Madrid beat Eintracht Frankfurt by 7-3, where Ferenc Puskás managed to score 4 in that match. Okay, so the first 11 editions of the European Cup, Real Madrid won. The first 11 editions, they won 6, as I'm saying, out of the first 11, playing in 8 finals and losing 2. That's in 62 to Bela Gutmann's Benfica and in 64 to Heleno Herrera's Inter Milan. Real Madrid went off for 32 solid years. They went dormant in the European Cup, and I remember during that time they played in the 1983 Cup Winners' Cup, UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, lost to Sir Alex Ferguson's Aberdeen. Before that, they also lost the 1971 UEFA Cup Winners' Cup to Chelsea finals. The first leg ended in a draw, and the return leg Chelsea won, and Real Madrid lost that finals too. So they were struggling in the European Cup, their favorite competition. They were rather playing in the second tier, that's the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. They lost to Chelsea in 71, 72 thereabout, I think 71, yeah, if my memory serves me right. And they also lost in the 83 finals to Sir Alex Ferguson's Aberdeen. We all know that Sir Alex Ferguson, the Scottish coach, who is the most decorated club manager of all time with 49 trophies in his 39 stint as a manager, 39-year managerial career. He won a remarkable 49 trophies, which is the most by any football club manager. Sir Alex Ferguson started at Aberdeen and he won an European title with Aberdeen when they beat Real Madrid in the 1983 Cup Winners' Cup finals. So during that 32-year drought that Real Madrid went without winning the European Cup, as I said, they lost to Chelsea in 71-72, the Cup Winners' Cup. They lost to Sir Alex Ferguson's Aberdeen in the 1983 Cup Winners' Cup. They also played in the 1981 European Cup finals, where they lost in Paris, Parc des Princes, to Liverpool. Alan Kennedy, the Liverpool defender, he was a left back, got the only goal, the solitary goal that won Liverpool that title at the expense of the Merengues. So Real Madrid played in one final, just one, during that 32-year drought, and they lost to Liverpool in Paris. And I know Madridistas will say they've gotten their revenge when they also beat Liverpool in Paris, this time at the Stade de France, by the same scoreline, 1-0. So Real Madrid, as I said, between 1966 through to 1998, that's a period of 32 years, they lost 3 European finals, 2 in the Cup Winners' Cup and 1 in the European Cup. So their favorite competition, the European Cup, they went dormant. Okay, and Real Madrid came back after 32 years in Amsterdam, the then Amsterdam Arena, which is now the Johan Cruyff Arena. Okay, and you realize that Real Madrid beat Juventus, a star-studded Juventus side. I believe in that final, Juventus were the favorites because it had been a while since Real Madrid won the European Cup, 32 years, and Juventus had played 2 finals in the previous seasons, losing in the 1997 finals to Borussia Dortmund. I'll talk about that final one day, where Lars Ricken came off the bench and scored with his first touch. Okay, and you also realize that Juventus also beat Ajax in 1996. So Juventus had played in 2 finals, winning 1 and losing 1, and they were playing in their 3rd consecutive finals in Amsterdam against Real Madrid. That Real Madrid team was captained by Manuel Sanchez. They had Elegna as their goalkeeper, the German goalkeeper. They had Christian Panucci, the Italian defender. They had Clarence Seedorf. They had players like Davor Šuker, the Croatian, hit man at that time, who went on later that season to dominate the France 98 World Cup with Croatia. They had a young Raul Blanco Gonzalez. They had Jose Maria Guti Hernandez. They had Roberto Carlos and all these players. Okay, as I said, Manuel Sanchez was their captain and they won, where Predrag Mijatovic got the only goal of the game. And they beat La Vecchia Signora, the old ladies of Italian football, Juventus, who were playing in their 3rd straight finals, having won the 96th edition on penalties against Louis van Gaal's Ajax Amsterdam. Juventus, coached by Marcello Lippi, lost in the 1997 finals to Otmar Hitzfeld Borussia Dortmund, as I said, and they played in the 98 finals again, and they lost to Jupp Heynckes, Real Madrid. Jupp Heynckes was the coach of Real Madrid at that time, and they won by a solitary goal. Their former legend, their former sporting director, Predrag Mijatovic, who was a player then, scored the only goal. So Real Madrid were back again, and Real Madrid will win it again in 2000 when they beat Valencia in Paris by 3-0, where I remember Fernando Morientes, Steve McManaman, the former Liverpool legend who came to Real Madrid, the English midfielder, sensational midfielder, one of the best British players to have played in La Liga and also to have represented Real Madrid, together with Larry Cunningham and also Gareth Bale of recent times, David Beckham. You see all those great British or Brits that played for Real Madrid. Steve McManaman is one of the best. He scored in the 2000 finals in Paris against Valencia, who was coached by Hector Raul Coupa, the Argentine coach. One day I'll talk about the curse of the Champions League on non-European coaches. I think maybe probably just this week I'll try and do that one. Real Madrid won their 9th title, so they won their 7th title in Amsterdam in '98, where they beat Marcelo Lippi's Juventus. That Juventus team had Zinedine Zidane, had Igor Davis, they had Cannavaro, they had Angelo Peruzzi as their goalkeeper. They had, all these great players, and they had Antonio Conte. You see, so that Juventus team was good. That's how come they played in 3 successive finals, but they managed to win only one. So Real Madrid won against Bayern 04 Leverkusen at Hampden Park in Glasgow. Okay, the National Stadium of Scotland, Hampden Park in Glasgow. We all recall Zinedine Zidane's volley with his weaker foot. That's won Real Madrid a title at the time where Raul Gonzalez put Real Madrid in the lead. The Brazilian defender Lucio leveled things up, and Zinedine Zidane in the first half had to get his Champions League moments. And you see, Zidane was smartened from the pains of losing 2 finals, one against Dortmund in '97 and one against Real Madrid in '98. So Zidane was part of the Juventus team that lost 2 successive finals to Borussia Dortmund in '97 and to Real Madrid in '98. Okay, so Zidane had to do something. He had suffered in previous finals, so his Champions League moment, which is arguably one of the best moments in the Champions League or European Cup era, arguably the best goal in the UEFA Champions League finals, and also arguably the best goal in the Champions League itself. His Caesar kick volley, that was superb, where I remember Santiago Solari and Roberto Carlos, played the 1-2, and Roberto Carlos just, played the ball in the air, and the way the ball was coming, from the air, and how Zidane connected it with his weaker left foot, past Hans Jörg Bott, the goalkeeper of Bayer 04 Leverkusen. He was the same goalkeeper that lost the 2010 finals to Jose Mourinho's Inter Milan. So that's bad luck for him. He lost 2 finals, one with Bayer Leverkusen and one with Bayern Munich. Hans Jörg Bott, he was the goalkeeper for Bayer 04 Leverkusen. So that's how it is. So Real Madrid will go off again after winning their 9th title. They went off for a period of 12 years, bringing in new players, trying to win their 10th title, which is La Decima. They brought a lot of coaches. Carlos Queiroz, who was the assistant coach of Sir Alex Ferguson at Manchester United, came to coach Real Madrid at a point in time. They brought Luxemburgo from Brazil. All these coaches, Fabio Capello came, won La Liga but couldn't deliver the Champions League. Their former player Ben Schuster, the German, who was a coach at that time, came, won the La Liga in 2008 but couldn't deliver the Champions League. Jose Mourinho came. He came at the time where Barcelona were very dominant. He cut the dominance of Barcelona and took Madrid to their first 3 successive semi-finals since they played their last semi-finals in 2003. And you realize that was a difficult period. Jose Mourinho's 3 years at Madrid, he couldn't win the Champions League. Neither could he play a finals, but he brought Madrid back to that level. And the Don Carlo Ancelotti took over in 2013-14, signed Gareth Bale for a world record fee from Tottenham, where Gareth Bale beat Cristiano Ronaldo's world record in 2009, where Ronaldo came to Real Madrid for a then world record fee of £80 million. Gareth Bale came in Ancelotti's first season in 2013 from Tottenham Hotspur for £85 million, and he broke Ronaldo's record and came and formed the deadly trio, the BBC, where Real Madrid finally managed to win their 10th title. And we all know when Ancelotti left in 2015, when Benitez came and things wasn't that well, in January of 2016, Zinedine Zidane, their legend, Real Madrid's legend, came, and in 2.5 years, we all know the history he made with Real Madrid, cementing his legacy as part of few coaches to have won 3 Champions League titles, together with Bob Paisley of Liverpool, Carlo Ancelotti himself, who is now on 4 titles, and Zinedine Zidane. So Zidane won 3 successive Champions League titles with Real Madrid with the BBC. So the BBC, together with Sergio Ramos, we all know Marcelo, Dani Carvajal, Ike Casillas started and left. Keylor Navas came later on, and we all know that Karim Mustafa Benzema, Xabi Alonso, later on Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, Casemiro, Isco, all these players, Sergio Ramos, and all these players, you realize that they won 4 European Cups for Real Madrid in 5 seasons. You see, so Real Madrid managed to defend the European Cup, which had never been done in the UEFA Champions League era. They managed to do it 3 times in a row when they won it in 2016, 2017, and 2018. 2016 in Milan, when they beat their fellow city rivals at Club Atletico Madrid, coached by Diego Pablo Simeone. We all remember when they beat them on penalties. I remember Ronaldo, scoring the decisive penalty after Juan Torres. After Juan Torres also, missed his penalty for Atleti. Real Madrid also won it again in 2017 in one of the unusual years of Real Madrid winning an European Cup. Real Madrid normally thrive well in even years. Okay, one day I'll talk about the history of Real Madrid and how you can see or determine or predict whether Real Madrid will do well in the European Cup. Real Madrid don't normally do well in odd years. They've played finals in odd years, but you see, they've won 3 finals in odd years and they've lost 1, but they don't normally thrive well in odd years. They normally do well in even years. So the upcoming season, for instance, as a Madridista, I'm not that confident Real Madrid can win the Champions League again, because they don't normally do well in odd years. But in 2017 at the Cardiff Millennium Stadium in the Principality, that's Gareth Bale's home grounds or homeland in Wales, Real Madrid beat Maxi Allegri's Juventus by 4-1, and they also beat Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool in Kiev in Ukraine by 3-1, and Gareth Bale came off the bench and got put in a man of the match performance, which is a record for a player to come off the bench in an European Cup finals or Champions League finals and to get a brace. He was on a hat-trick. He almost had a hat-trick. And we all know the episode with Loris Karius's blunders that handed Karim Mustafa Benzema the first goal. We also know this saga with Mohamed Salah and Sergio Ramos that dislocated his shoulders and he had to come off just after 30 minutes and all that. So Real Madrid completed the 3-peat by winning 3 European Cups or Champions Leagues in a row. And in the Champions League era, since 92-93, it was unheard of. Okay, so that's the feat Real Madrid achieved. Now let's go to Milan. Associazione Calcio Milano, AC Milan. You see, they are a special club, and I just love this Italian club. Now, Milan's European history, we all know that Milan lost the 1958 finals to Real Madrid, but Milan won their first European Cup in 1963 when they beat Bela Gutmann's Benfica. Okay, oh no, I think Bela Gutmann had left. You all know, one day I'll talk about the curse of Bela Gutmann on Benfica and how it has affected them in the European Cup. You see, Benfica's 2 European Cup wins came against the 2 giants of Spain, Barcelona and Real Madrid. Barcelona in 61 and Real Madrid in 62. And they promised Bela Gutmann, who was their coach at that time, they promised him a pay increment. But when he won against Real Madrid in 62, that was his 2nd successive European Cup win. They couldn't fulfill their promise, and he was embittered. Okay, so he said that Benfica will never win another European finals without him. And since he said that, he left the club and now he's dead. And Benfica have lost in 5 straight finals that they've contested in, and also 3 Europa League finals. So 8 major European finals Benfica have lost all post Bela Gutmann. So Benfica won 61-62 and Milan won in 63 where they beat Benfica. So that means that Benfica played in 3 successive finals, winning 2 and losing 1 to Milan. So Milan's first European Cup win came in 1963. Milan will win it again in 1969 after Manchester United had won it with Sir Bobby Charlton and all those great players. You realize that Milan won it again in 1969. Yeah, Milan will win it again in 1989, and this is the feat I'm talking about. Milan defended the European Cup in 1989 with players like Paolo Maldini, Alessandro Costa, and all those players. Daniel Massaro and co came through the ranks, but you realize that they were coached by Arrigo Sacchi, and it was that team that went on to beat Barcelona in Athens. Johan Cruyff's dream Barcelona team, Johan Cruyff's dream team. That's how they were called, because of the total football, the brand of football they played, which mesmerized the world. They dominated La Liga, winning La Liga in 91, 92, 93, 94, winning the European Cup at Wembley when they beat Sampdoria in extra time. Ronald Koeman's free kick goal in 92. So at that time, Barcelona was virtually unplayable in Spain and in Europe, and realized that in 94 AC Milan also won their AC Milan managed to win as it were their 4th title. Yeah, their 4th title. So they won it back to back with Arrigo Sacchi in 1989 and 1990. Okay, and at that time you realize that it was a special feat. So from 1989, 1990 up to date is a period of 34 years, because the European Cup was renamed into the Champions League in 92-93. You realize that in its 30 years existence, they just ended UEFA Champions League finals, was the 30th anniversary of the UEFA Champions League. And you realize that AC Milan were the last team to have defended the European Cup in 1989 and 1990. Okay, so you realize that feat was remarkable, because defending this trophy is very, very difficult. So for me, the reason why I believe AC Milan and Real Madrid are the best 2 teams in the European Cup or in the Champions League is this remarkable feat. They were or are the last 2 teams to have defended this trophy, this giant trophy. It's very, very difficult for you to defend it. One day I'll talk about the curse of the European Cup, or the curse of the winner of the European Cup. If you win it, it's like you are on a curse. It's very, very difficult for you to defend it, especially in the UEFA Champions League era. And Milan managed to defend it in 89 with Arrigo Sacchi, and also in 90. That team had Carlo Ancelotti, who was a player then, and they had Alessandro Costa and Paolo Maldini. These 2 players managed to win 5 Champions League titles or European Cup titles as players, okay, as players in their playing career. So AC Milan and Real Madrid were the last 2 teams to have defended the European Cup. In 89 and in 1990, Milan won it back to back with Arrigo Sacchi as their manager, and Real Madrid also defended it in when they won it in 2016, they defended it in 2017, and also they won it again in 2018. So, as I said, the 6 grandmasters of the UEFA Champions League, you realize that Real Madrid on 14 titles have managed to defend the UEFA Champions League or the European Cup. And even Real Madrid's record is quite remarkable, because they are the only team to have defended the European Cup not just once but twice. As I said, they won it in the first 5 editions, so they defended it on 5 different occasions. No team could leapfrog them to win it or take it from their grasp. And Real Madrid also defended it with Zinedine Zidane in 2016, 2017 and 2018. So in 34 years, only 2 teams have managed to defend the European Cup, and that's AC Milan and Real Madrid. AC Milan in 1989-90, Real Madrid in 2016-17-18. That's the reason why I believe, and that's why you see there are so many things in the Champions League that doesn't lie. One day I'll take time and talk about Real Madrid, the reason why their numbers don't lie, the reason why they are the best team in the UEFA Champions League, probably the best team ever in the world. The 14 titles they've won, they really merit it, because most of the Champions League records, you realize that belongs to Real Madrid. In terms of the top scorers, the top scorer list, you realize that most of their players are part of the top scorer list. You realize that they've played the most semi-finals, like so many unique records. You realize that Real Madrid, have those records. So some things don't lie in the Champions League, and Real Madrid and AC Milan on 14 and 7 European Cups respectively are the last two teams that managed to defend the famous trophy. Hence, for me, I think Real Madrid and AC Milan are the best two teams in the European Cup history and also in the Champions League. The numbers don't lie. And today's session has been very, very entertaining and interesting. Next time, we'll go through other interesting topics. As I said, I'll talk about Bella Goodman's case on Benfica, and also the bad luck of Juventus. So I'll link it with Benfica's poor record in finals, because Juventus have lost their last 7 European Cup finals. Benfica too have lost their last 5 European Cup finals. So I'll talk about the curse of Bella Goodman on Benfica, and also Juventus' poor record in the finals. And also we also talk about the curse of the UEFA Champions League, okay, and also the curse on non-European coaches or foreign coaches attempting to win the UEFA Champions League. We realize that Diego Pablo Simeone, we realize that Avram Grant of Chelsea. People will say Israel play in Europe. No, Israel, yes, they play in Europe, but Israel is not an European nation. So an Israeli, for me, I don't see him as an European. And I'm talking about the case of non-European coaches. So Avram Grant is part. You realize that Mauricio Pochettino in recent times is part. Diego Pablo Simeone is part. And you realize that also this coach of Valencia, Hector Raul Cooper, that lost back-to-back finals with Valencia in 2000 and 2001 to Real Madrid and Bayern Munich respectively. Also, we have a lot of interesting topics to discuss. So brace yourself and subscribe to SKB TV. You hit the notification and you like it, you subscribe, and also you watch the videos, you enjoy it, you comment and you share, because this is a very educative sports channel, and we will be taking you on a roller coaster ride. God bless us all, and good evening. I love you.